Hello everyone. In this video, I want to show you how easy it is to build applications using GitHub Copilot, or how you can use GitHub Copilot to build applications in an easy and quick way. This is what I want to do. I want to build a web-based application that allows you to create two entities, product categories and products. For product category, we have just name and description. For product, we have name and some other properties, perhaps color, size, price, and things like that. And each product belongs to a product category. So our application is going to have a persistent data layer, so a SQL server that we're going to store data in. We're going to have a web-based user interface. I'm going to use ASP.NET MVC. And I want to write unit tests for all the controllers that I'm going to add to that MVC application. So let's get started. I am using Visual Studio 2022 right now, but you can use any IDE that has GitHub Copilot extension. So that's like VS Code or any other IDE that you want to use. Also, as I said, I'm going to use C# and .NET 8, but you can use Python or Java or whatever language you want. I am going to start with building the structure of my solution. I have an empty solution, as you can see here, called GitHub Copilot Demo. I'm just going to start with adding projects under this solution. The first project that I want to add is going to be a class library. I'm going to call it GitHub Copilot Pilot Demo. I'm going to copy this .core. So this is going to be the project where I'm going to create the models, interfaces, and basically everything that I'm going to share across other layers. So let's go and create another one. This one is also going to be a class library, and I'm going to call this one data access. So all the data access classes are going to be created here. And let's add an ASP.NET Core web app model view controller. This one I'm going to call web UI. I don't need HTTPS, and the rest looks good. What else? We also need a database project, so a SQL Server database project. I'm going to call this one database. And the last project is going to be the test project. Let's just wait for this one to get created. All right. And then lastly, a test project using XUnit. Okay. Now we have the structure of the project or solution ready. I'm going to start with my data tables. So I'm going to go to the database project, create a folder here called table, and then under this one I'm going to create two tables to store data for product category and also product. I'll start with product category. So very basic stuff. ID, I'm going to use unique identifier here and new ID as a default value. And for product category, we will have name and description. I'm not going to be picky about the data type. I'm just going to pick varchar 50 for most of the fields. And for description, say I want to use varchar 500. Okay, so this is my first table. Perfect. And then another one for product. Same thing, unique identifier, new ID. We have name here. Say color. Size. Price. And I guess that's it. And finally, we're going to add product category ID. It's going to be a unique identifier. And then let's here add a foreign key. So from product to product category. It's the name of the table. I'm just going to copy from here and paste here. Name of the column is going to be ID. The name of the foreign key column is going to be product category ID, like this. Okay. We also have the relationship created between the two. All right, so from this point, I'm going to start using GitHub Copilot to help me build the rest of my application. I'll start with creating a model for each one of these two tables, starting with product category. I'm just going to select this, go to GitHub Copilot chat, and prompt it to create a C# class for the selected SQL table in GitHub Copilot demo.core.model namespace, which reminds me that I have to go to the core project and create a folder called the model. Let's do that. Okay, GitHub Copilot chat. We have everything here. Make name and description required, just to have some validations. Okay, looks good. Insert a new file. Everything looks good. Just click on save. GitHub Copilot core and then model, and let's save it here. Okay, so that's our first model. Let's do the same this time for product. The prompt is going to be a little bit different here. Make name, color, size, and price required. Also add a property for product category. Use this class. I'm going to reference the class by just typing a pound, and then it will show the list of files for me. So product category.cs. Okay, looks good. Insert a new file, and now we have the product also created. Okay, that looks good. Now the next step is to create the data access classes, and I'm going to prompt it this way. Create a data access class for product category.cs using Dapper, because I like Dapper. Implement CRUD operations. Also create an interface that will be implemented by the data access class. Comment all methods on both interface and class, and describe inputs and outputs. Okay. It is creating the interface first and then the data access class. Okay, let's create the interface. I'm going to create another folder under core project. I'm going to call it interface. Okay. And then here, let's go up and then insert new file. This one goes to core.interface. Okay. And then the other one is this one, which goes to data access. Okay, let's take a look at it. You have get all, get by ID, create, update, and delete. Okay, looks good. All right, now, okay, I guess we had an error. Let's go and fix it. Oh, okay, we need to do some references. So first of all right, I forgot to do project references. In data access, I need to reference core. In web UI, I need to reference core and data access. And in test, I need to do core, data access, and web UI. Okay, should be okay now. The other problem is this. And the other problem is that I don't have Dapper installed. So I have to go to data access and manage NuGet packages and install Dapper. This guy. Okay, let's go back here. Guess we're good now. Now we want to do the same thing for product. So for product, let's CS using Dapper. Okay. Make sure to populate product category property. Use these two SQL tables for your reference. So here I'm going to actually reference the two SQL tables that I have, product category and product. And the reason for that is that in product class, we have a property called product category. And product category is itself an entity, right? We have information for product category in another table. So for this one, we need to do joins. And when we do joins and when we bring data and we want to kind of populate properties like product category, in Dapper, you have to do it in a specific way. By prompting it this way and providing all the information, GitHub Copilot will be able to actually come up with proper data access kind of code. So let's wait for it. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. As you can see, if we go, hold on a second, let me actually expand it a little bit. Yeah, as you can see. Looks okay. I guess we'll see. Okay, let's create them. This one first. And let me fix the namespace. Goes to core interface. And the other one goes to data access, which is this one. Okay. Data access. Save it in data access project and then fix the problem with references. We have a problem here. We can actually ask Copilot to fix that problem too. So just gonna select this, go to Copilot chat and say, fix the problem in the selected code. Okay. Okay, I'm going to copy and replace everything here. And we have some warnings, but seems like it's working now. Okay, let's actually go and build the solution just to make sure we have everything in a good shape at least. We don't know if it works, but let's see. Okay, looks good. Now we need to go and create the user interface. So here I'm going to go to controller, actually delete the home controller, not copy, but delete. Also the view. Okay, and then I'm going to create a new controller with read-write actions. Call it product category. Category, if I can actually spell. Okay. Now here, I'm going to select everything and then prompt it inside of the editor and say, implement all methods using the product category repository. Make sure to do dependency injection. Okay. Right here, and then also here. Okay. Looks good. Now we have the controller ready. We need to add the views, starting with index. Let's just add a view, empty view. It's called index, yes. And I'm going to select this code, go to chat again, and say, create a view for selected controller. Controller with a data grid that shows name and description with edit, delete, and details actions. Also a button at the top to add new product categories. Use Bootstrap, CSS, and make it more friendly. Okay. Okay. Yeah, looks okay. Now, if you want to run this, I have to go to Program and do the dependency injection here. So, sorry, here. Builder dot services dot add transient I product category repository, and because the product category repository requires or has a constructor that requires a SQL DB connection, I have to create it here. So new SQL connection. I don't have the SQL here. Do the reference here. I also don't have the SQL connection, so I have to install system.data or Microsoft.data SQL client. And then also I need to have the connection string. I'm going to use environment variables. Get environment variable. Let's call it SQL connection string, right? And this guy. We need another one. Okay. And then the same thing applies to product. So iProduct repository, also here, product repository. Now, in order to be able to run this application, I need to go and add the environment variable called SQL underscore connection string. And I'm going to pause the video here, quickly add this environment variable and return to the video so I can run this application. Okay, I added the environment variable, but I also just realized I have to publish my database project too, because these two tables don't exist. And sorry, before that, if I forget, because my database is an Azure SQL server, I need to go here and change it to Microsoft Azure SQL database. And then I can come here and do the publish and edit. This is the database that I have, and publish. So the two tables that I created actually exist in my database when I try to run the application. Okay, there we go. Now, also, let's change one more thing here. I'm going to change the default controller to product category controller. And let's set this one as default project or start a project and then run it. Okay, so this is the list of product categories. If I click on this one, I will see this error because this view doesn't exist. So let's go and create it. So the next one is create. Let's go and add a create view. And I'll do exactly the same thing. Controller, we don't need a data grid here. But I'm just going to prompt it to implement client-side validation. So let's see. So if you see this, it says the response matched public code, so it was blocked. This is a setting at the organizational level, because my GitHub Copilot is being controlled by my organization, and they have kind of turned off this feature. This is something you can go and turn on if you want to, but if you see this error, it means that you need to change the prompt. So I'm just going to go and remove the implement client-side validation. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So let's rephrase it. To create product categories and make it more friendly, put labels at the top of inputs. I don't know. Okay, seems like it worked. Let's copy this, go to create, and paste it here. And now we'll run it. Okay, and we actually do have validation. So let's create, oh my God, shoes. Yeah. Use this category for all kinds of shoes. And we have a problem. Explicit conversion from data type numeric to unique identifier is not allowed. So let's go and see what the problem is in my data access class. So we're doing the create, this one. Oh, scope identity as unique identifier. So my table is actually using unique identifier, isn't it? Yep. You know what? We can always change this. Let's say we don't need the unique identifier. I'm going to do this. I'm going to select everything, go to GitHub Copilot chat and say, change the code so it doesn't return scope identity, because I don't really need that. Okay, that actually is smart. So I'm going to copy and replace everything with the new implementation. If you take a look, you'll see that it actually is now adding the ID itself, so it can return it, which is pretty smart. Now let's go and take try one more time. Okay, so we have created the first product category successfully. We have details, edit, and delete. These are obviously not implemented yet, but let's go and do it. So close this, and we have details. Let's go and I'm going to remove this one. Okay. Copy. It's going to be details. So let's go and add a new view, an empty view called details. And the other one is edit. So I'm going to select this. Oh, even though it says create product, well, it thinks it's creating product. So I'm actually going to start a new chat session and say a view to edit product category for the selected controllers. I'm going to say use this as template. So it kind of creates the same or similar kind of form. Okay. Let's go and add a view. And lastly, we need to do the delete. Let's go create the delete view. And we're going to do the same thing. To delete product category for the controller, and I'm going to just remove that part. So whenever you see this, again, just either change your prompt or start from scratch. Learners. Okay. To show product category details and ask if the user wants to delete. Oh, come on. Put labels at the top. No? Create a view for selected controller. What about that? Doesn't like it. Start a new one. No. Okay, you know what? This is the delete. I'm going to select this one. We're using Bootstrap, CSS, and I don't know, details as template. Okay, that worked. Now let's go and try the CRUD operation for product category. Let's add a new one, test. Let's go to edit, see the details, and delete. Okay, CRUD operation is working very well. Now we want to do the product. Product is a little bit different and a little bit more complicated. So let's get it started. Add a new controller with read and write actions. Product. Implement all methods using product repository. Make sure to do dependency injection. Okay, and let's fix the references. Oops. And now we're going to do the same thing. So add a view, empty view, it's called index. Yep, looks good. Then start a new session, create a view with a data grid with name, color, size, price, and product. Category name. Use, actually, I'm going to say use, sorry, the other index.html as template. And that's it. Should work actually. Let's see. Yep. Let's go to details. Well, this is the second view. Create a view for selected controller and use details as template. Show name, color, size, price, and product category name. Okay, now let's do the create. This one is going to be different, so create, and then here product category is a drop down, right? when you want to create a product category should be a drop-down. So it's creating everything, and here it is a select element. It is also suggesting that we change the controller. First, let's create this one. And then for the controller, because it's going to, let's actually find the two create methods, these two, and replace it here, because here it's using a view bag. Okay. Also, product category repository is needed, obviously. So this guy changes. Now it looks good. Let's do the edit. It's going to be the same as this one. Again, we're going to do the edit CHTML, and product category is a drop-down. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to ask me to also update my controllers, which is fine. Copy here, paste here. Also, the two edit ones. And finally, we want to do the delete. We are reusing a lot of our prompts. This one on product category name. So we don't want it to be a drop down in this case. We're just going to show the details and ask the user whether or not they want to delete the product. Yep. Okay. First, let's update this part, and then it also suggested that I change something here. What is it? Okay, so no need to change anything. Let's give it a shot. / product. No, product. Okay, add a new product. Name is Air Jordan 1. Color is red. Size 13. 150 bucks. And the category is shoes. There's a problem. Let's put a breakpoint and see what the problem is. And create here. Okay, model state is not valid. Let's take a look. Product category is invalid right here. So Okay, I'm actually going to ask the question from GitHub Copilot again. Let me select the code. Then, how can we make product category property optional? It is saying, oh, ensure it's nullable. I think that's the thing. If I make it nullable, probably the problem will be solved. What's going on? Slash product. So we have validation for everything, which is pretty nice. And I have, oops, Air Jordan. 1, red, 13, 150, and shoes. Now let's take a look. Oh yeah, that fixed the problem. The same problem exists here. So let's go to our data access. Change the code so it doesn't use scope identity. Okay. Try again. There we go. We have created our first product. Now let's go to details. Nice. Edit. 14 and 350. Yep. Works very well actually. Let's try to delete. Okay, this one also doesn't work. Probably related to something here. Let's try. Why is it coming here? It shouldn't come here. It should come here. Right? So let's go and take a look at the delete under product category. This is the submit button. And the delete here. It's pretty much the same. Yep. okay. But the delete for, oh, here goes the delete. And this one also says delete. Let's take a look at the controller. Okay, the name is different, see? Okay, it is a little bit different. So I'm going to just copy this part, go here and paste it here. I think that is the only difference. We'll see. Oh yeah, okay. So everything is now working, CRUD operation for product category and also product. Now the last thing I wanted to do is to create unit tests, right? So I'm going to delete everything, sorry, close everything, not delete everything. Starting with product category controller. I'm just gonna select everything, go to GitHub chat again and say, create unit tests for all controllers using XUnit. Make sure to cover both positive and negative use cases. It is using mock to mock the dependencies, and it's creating unit tests for me. This one's for product category controller. It's going to actually go ahead and create it. The only thing I need to change perhaps is, oh, not even the namespace. Well, that is nice. Go to test and then put it here. Also, token limit was reached, okay. This was product category controller. Okay. Create unit tests for controllers using XUnit. Cover both positive and negative use cases. Okay, and this one is for product. One thing that we need to fix is the problem with mock. We need to add the package. There's a problem here, which I'm going to ask Copilot to fix it. Fix the problem in the selected code. Copy and replace. Now it looks good. Let's go to the other one. This one also looks good. I'm going to open the Test Explorer. And here we have 25 tests for the two controllers. Let's actually run all of them. There we go. Unit tests for everything, and we're done.